Zero Authority is a community of people who believe in open source and permissionless systems. Thanks for supporting the community. Remember why you started.
We believe in this opportunity to work in Web3, and people coming in will be a massive shift.
There's a lot of opportunities that are not, they're lost, and their people's skills and their what they're really capable of doing is not able to be shined through right now.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whoever you are, wherever you are. Thanks for tuning in to Zero Authority today. Zero Authority is a community of people who believe in open source and permissionless systems built on stacks secured by Bitcoin. Today we have some really special guests. Pete Hodl, no relation to Hodl Stacks. They just happen to have Hodl in their name.
Hey, man, I'll claim him as a brother. We're good.
The running joke used to be last year that Kurt Blockchain was related to what's
Jake
Blockchain.
Yeah, Jake Blockchain. Yeah.
Yeah, Jake Blockchain and Kurt Blockchain, they were brothers. So now we have a brotherhood in town, Pete Hodl and Hodl Stacks.
Let's go.
Let's go, LFG. So we're talking to Pete from Liquidium today. Pete, Hodl, happy Friday. How are you two guys today, man?
Yeah, man, I'm doing great. It's great to be here. You know, we heard about Zero Authority, the DAO for a long time now. It's been in stacks for a while. That's great. Today was actually my last day at my full-time job.
Let's go.
We're feeling really good. I ordered some dinner, and they gave me some food on the side. It's just a good day so far. It's just a good
Web3 native right here. Right here, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys are wondering how to transition to Web3, ask Pete. Yeah. Ask Pete. And we'll see some chats actually coming in today. So we'll have our usual suspects. We'll bring the chats on, and if you have any questions for Pete for Liquidium, just throw them in the chat on YouTube, Twitter, or on Twitch, and we'll make sure he sees it today. But dude, congrats! It must feel scary, but it's like, damn, I'm doing it.
Yeah, man. No, it feels great. It feels really great. It's just great to be working on what you're passionate about. To have that all line up. What you're building is something you're passionate about. The stuff you do is what you're passionate about. It's just great.
Exactly. That's awesome, man.
100%, man.
Thanks, guys.
So we knew about you guys for a while now. Albert, we love what he's doing with the Web3 Founders Lab. Tio, Kyle, Andrea, Jake Blockchain at the accelerator that's been recently rebranded to the Bitcoin Venture Fund. Really cool stuff. So yeah, we knew about you guys, and Albert back in June, May, he said, man, we got some really cool dApps coming online on Stacks. And I said, give them our name. I want their name right now so we can reach out to them before they get big and before everyone finds out about them. Let's get a little bit of alpha. Selfishly, we just wanted to know what the platform was all about. And then to kind of like come this far and see you guys now here, a part of the accelerator, launching your dApp. And if you guys are wondering out there, what is Liquidium and where can you find out more, go to their Twitter, Liquidium. It's at Liquidium Dzie. Unlock the full power of your NFTs and ordinals. Borrow STX against your NFTs or BTC against your ordinals. Crazy. I mean, we have so many questions, but dude, how insane has the ordinal whole movement been?
It has been crazy, actually. We were heads down working on a lot of stack stuff, getting ready to try and release some of that soon. We only had like a couple weeks left before we wanted to release some new features. But then this ordinal stuff really took off, and we could not look away from it. So we just had to pivot and start working on the ordinal stuff right away. So that's actually what we're working on right now. What should be coming out hopefully pretty soon. It's definitely our next release. It's going to be a nice peer-to-peer lending solution connecting borrowers and lenders. Everything's going to be native on the BTC chain. So no stacks involved, no wrapping or no vaulting. Everything's just on chain, pure and gold. You'll be able to, lock your native ordinals in a vault or in an escrow to take out a native Bitcoin loan from a lender who matched with you, and those lenders will be able to, earn native Bitcoin interest on their Bitcoin. So we just think that's going to be great.
Man, that's awesome. You guys, the Bitcoin maxis are going to be envious. Their hodl won't do it anymore. So it doesn't do it for ordinals. So
yeah, you can come get interest now. Like, come on, man, this is native.
I just tweeted to TO like, I kind of miss the maxis. I feel like they've just like slowly melted away. It's like I don't even see them anymore. They literally can't say anything anymore. So it's just been crazy. And then seeing all the wizard showers. I love just watching just people in Web3 and Bitcoin, grown men and women, like get excited about these things again. It feels like, and Hodl Stacks and I talk all the time, and I say, James, man, it is so refreshing to be excited about something again.
Yeah, and let me preface that for anybody that stumbles upon this YouTube video that doesn't know about the wizard showers. Zero is a straight shooting guy. He's not one of these people. He's not into weird stuff. Okay, guys.
Showers. Weird off the bat, right?
Thanks for the disclaimer there. There's a bunch of weirdos on the internet.
Yeah.
We gotta throw out. It's some fun stuff. It's all good fun.
Good fun. It's all good. Family friendly fun. It's
family friendly fun.
Yeah.
I saw I'm gonna have to pull up the wizard shower that Dan did because it was hilarious. And he said, pro tip, make sure that your shower is hot when you're going to do it. So I'll have to pull that up later here so we can all see that because that was hilarious.
You got to see that. Yeah, some of them have been hilarious. I like Trevor's was funny. Who else?
Trevor's was great.
John Ennis, I saw that was funny with his kids. Was cute.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that was so precious, man, to see him and his kids.
But yeah, for real, it's got to be freezing because you just turn it on right when you're in there.
So he had no lead up at all. He just like jumped right in. Okay,
man. I hope he gets it.
I think I found it.
This is my Taproot Wizard confirmation.
Yes.
Oh man, that's awesome. It's just I love that people get to kind of have some joy about these things that we're all building together again, man. It's just unreal. Hey, Pete, before we get too lost into the weeds, how did you find Stacks? How did you learn about Bitcoin? Why build Liquidium?
Great question. So I guess it actually kind of starts with my name, Pete Hodl. And maybe Hodl STX is kind of similar. You come from a similar path, maybe, but the
similar lineage.
Similar
right?
lineage. Yeah, exactly. The Hodl name is like pretty common amongst like Bitcoin maxis, right? There's like American Hodl. I think he's a pretty OG Hodl, but that's kind of where I started. I started out, Bitcoin maxi, purity, like only Bitcoin. Let's not shitcoin, none of that. But then Stacks, was what I saw that started to open my eye because it was smart contracts for Bitcoin. And I was like, you know what? That makes so much sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is something we really need because as they always say, that's the only thing you can do with Bitcoin up until recently has been just buying and holding, right? And maybe, spending if you want to spend it. But now, Stacks and the greater community in general, even like not even just on Stacks, but builders elsewhere are just trying to create these new use cases for Bitcoin and figuring out different ways to utilize the asset,
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where I came from, right? Coming from a maxi standpoint, getting introduced to Stacks, right? Because I understood like, Ethereum, decentralized contracts and running decentralized code, that all makes sense. We definitely need that. But I don't know if Ethereum is the best way for that, And so if we could bring as much as that as we can to Bitcoin, that would be gold. And then that stacks. So as soon as I started to see it, I started to get really, really hype about it, really wrapped up into it. And let's see, eventually I started to think, I should really try to utilize my skills as a software engineer to try and build something for this space. So that's what I started to do. I tried to build a product. I applied to the Bitcoin startup lab, the Web3 startup lab with Albert, like you mentioned. And I was actually the last person that they accepted because I applied on the last day. Thank goodness that they accepted me. And Albert was like, listen, man, you're the last guy I'm taking. You really got to be blessed with this. And I was like, thank you so much, man. Thank you. But yeah, so I joined that as a solo founder. And it was an amazing experience. There was just a lot of like personal development, a lot of, now career development for me, but a lot of the things I learned in there really, really stuck. So, eventually, the idea that I had turned out, it wasn't so great from some of the things that we were learning, right? If your product doesn't have customers, then it's going to be a pretty hard product to sell and, to survive off of. So I was blessed to meet the guys who were originally doing NFT to loan was our original aim, right? And pretty straightforward. It's trying to be a lending protocol for NFTs. And it was really a match made in heaven. Me and the 3 other founders, which are JJ.BTC for Julian. There's Shrimpo.BTC or Leo, and Roppel.BTC or Robin. And so the 3 of them and myself make up the team. And yeah, it was really just a match made in heaven. We're a bunch of young guys with a lot of drive and a lot of hard work that we want to just put into building something that matters, something that people need. And, our skills all really complement each other just perfectly. And we just think it's a match made in heaven. We have myself, I'm the developer of the team. We have Robin, he's CEO. He does a lot of the, making sure the team's working, making sure we're all on track. We got Julian, our marketing lead, and he, manages the Twitter, everything else that revolves around marketing. And we have Leo, our design creative director, and he just, came out with that awesome new landing page that we love so much. So things are looking really good, right? And yeah, just as a team, we think we mesh really well. We think we have similar values. We just try to take all the feedback we can, learn from it, and just go as hard as we can to building what we want to see.
Yeah, I think
huge shout out to Albert at Web3 Startup Lab. It's been rebranded to the Bitcoin Startup Lab. I mean, I've been so impressed with seeing everyone build on Stacks and Bitcoin. I've seen this since 2019, and to come all the way to 2023, and I was in the same camp. I was like, okay, Bitcoin is gold. I'm going to hodl this thing. Ethereum, this is cool. People are experimenting. Bitcoin and I've always told you, hodl, and you could quote me on this, and we could go back in the archives because we have receipts. I said in the future, Bitcoin, it will come full circle where if you read the white paper and what Satoshi said, it's a peer-to-peer money. Right now, we just see it as gold because at some point in the future, when it reaches its terminal velocity and it's 100 trillion worth, it will be cash. And it's actually happening faster where, okay, now we actually have native Bitcoins, ordinal inscriptions. Native NFTs, ordinal inscriptions. And people, before ordinals, Pete, you would have probably just built something on Stacks and just kept it there. And now you're like, you know what? The game has changed. And developers on the Bitcoin core developers, there is more talk now about, yeah, we want to keep this the same and we want to keep this pristine collateral. But if we can make these micro improvements and innovations to unlock a new market, why not do that? And for the first time in probably a decade, almost a decade, because Munib talks about the last time in that he was around, and it was like the Taproot Wizards and the rare Pepes, where you felt like this is an innovative space. It's been 10 years. I feel so bullish, and we shouldn't be this bullish because we're still in a bear market, but man, it just feels different.
For real. On top of what you said, like, it's just crazy how, the micro changes, like you mentioned, right? Like, they want to like incrementally improve Bitcoin without changing it too much. Like, that's how we got Taproot, right? Over I think over a year ago. I think it was November of 21, I think. And Taproot was the upgrade that enabled inscriptions, right? But it took over a year and some change for people to figure out, hey, we figured out a way to make it a lot cheaper to inscribe stuff on the Bitcoin blockchain, right? And so, that upgrade happened a year and some change later. Now you have these inscriptions, these NFTs on Bitcoin, and the best part about them is that they're driving up the fee market. It's providing increasing the security budget for Bitcoin. We're paying the miners more, so more miners are attracted to start securing the network. So it's just just a beautiful thing that just like this small change that happened enabled this awesome new feature that took some time for people to figure out. And I'm just crazy excited for what else we find out we can do with this.
Yeah, me too.
It's pretty awesome too. It's like there was a lot of people that were really into Bitcoin, and they would go on Ethereum. They go, well, even if we think your NFT is cool or any of this, they're like, oh, well, it's stored on an Amazon server, or, it's like, well, what's the real big, how is that decentralized? You guys are kind of just attached to the system. And you look at Bitcoin now, it's like, hey, man, the Bitcoin network would have to go down for your ordinal to disappear. So that thing's going to be there for a real long time. And, I think we're getting close to the 600,000th ordinal right now, right?
Yep.
And these are still, what is this, 2 months in? So there's just so much that people are going to be able to do. And, hey, but, enough about that. We should dive into, let you narrate y'all's new homepage here.
Oh, yeah. So this is our brand new landing page. We have the sign up for notifications about our ordinal lending coming soon. Currently, we're live on Stacks. We're the first NFT lending protocol. Our product right now is a little bit limited. It's just kind of the first feature that we released, and we're the liquidity providers. We offer loans for 3 of the blue chips on Stacks, and right now we're heads down developing a peer-to-peer ordinals lending solution, and this will enable you to lock your native ordinal in an escrow and match with a lender who can provide you native Bitcoin for a loan for that ordinal. And on the other side, this creates an opportunity for Bitcoin holders to generate interest on their Bitcoin, which we think is just absolutely insane, that you can generate interest and you know where the interest is coming from. It's coming from a loan on the other end. It's pretty concrete. So we're beyond excited for what's coming.
Yeah. For those two that are maybe new to the NFT loan space, the people say you put an NFT and today it's worth 1,000 stacks, you get a loan for it, and then at a given point, say at the value goes under a certain point or whatnot, does it work kind of like Arcadeco vaults where the person would get liquidated or something like that? Or
yeah, similarly. So there's a lot of different ways you could do the lending. I guess it'd probably be most important to talk about the ordinal one first. So the ordinal lending would be a peer-to-peer. So we are simply the middlemen connecting borrowers to lenders. And the way it would work is you, as a borrower or a person who wants to be a borrower, if you have your ordinal, you can come to Liquidium and put it up as a listing. You can set your, the desired interest you want to pay, the loan term, and the loan amount. And then you can post it on Liquidium, and lenders will browse through all the requests and find loans that they want to accept. Maybe the terms seem acceptable, or they really like the NFT or the inscription and they want to lend against it. And then they'll transfer you Bitcoin as your loan. right? And so at the end of the loan term, the borrower will either need to pay back the loan amount plus the interest to the lender. And if he doesn't, the loan defaults and the ordinal goes to the lender. So now you the borrower would lose your ordinal and it would go to the lender. So there's, for a peer-to-peer model, there's no liquidation based off of price, or at least that's how we plan to build it. No liquidation based off price, just a liquidation based off of the loan term.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for the lender, that creates an incentive to lend out money. So if here, let me explain that the loans are over collateralized, meaning that if you deposit an ordinal that's valued at, like, say, 1 Bitcoin, your loan amount will be less than 1 Bitcoin. So that's over collateralized. So the reason this is incentivized for lenders then is they can lend out maybe like 30-40% of the value of the NFT, meaning that they can earn interest on 30-40% of that value. Or if the borrower doesn't pay in time, then they will receive that NFT at an incredible discount. So it's kind of a win-win for the lenders. You either earn some interest or you purchase this NFT at a major discount compared to the market price.
Yeah, and that makes sense too. It's trustless, especially the peer-to-peer. I could definitely see people go in and go, oh, I think this inscription is way, nicer than this one. Oh, I'm totally willing to give this person a better term or anything, because they know there's probably, some sort of probability that they might end up with it. So it's pretty cool.
No, exactly. That's a great point. There's no need for, like, us to set a value for the inscription. You, the borrower, and you, the lender, you agree on the value. So it makes it a lot more, a lot more seamless of an interaction.
Yeah, I would love to, and this is going to be a shameless plug on our part, but Hodl Stacks and Algorithm, we partnered with GM NFTs to launch our Bitcoin Pizza Ordinal. So we're going to do 25 of these bad boys, and would love to see down the road. And a part of the treasury that we're building with the Cerulean marketplace. Don't forget, it's live. You can come in today, find the people you need for your projects. We're getting closer to launching and being able to connect your wallet in the Cerulean marketplace and find the people you want. But a part of raising these funds and selling our Bitcoin pizzas, it's going to go to some of the first creator pools we're going to be able to create. So it would just come for us. It would come full circle where we started this random pizza NFT project to represent Bitcoin culture. And now, I mean, due to this, that was 10 years ago, where this guy Laszlo traded 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 pizzas. Now we actually have NFTs on Bitcoin. And then to come full circle for us, where these NFTs are raising capital to put in these creator pools, where someone could come into the Zero Authority community, vote on a proposal to say, hey, I don't have enough money to build this thing, but you guys have some pool of capital. I have a couple of builders. I would love to put a proposal. Let the community vote for this. Hodl Stacks and I would just be over the moon when we get to that point, when people are building stuff based on the Cerulean marketplace and you're finding the talent that you need. So we would just love that. And to see people on Liquidium taking out loans, borrowing against their own whatever, right? Their Bitcoin pizza ordinals, their megapunks, those ordinals, all the ordinals that have been created to this date. So cool to see all of that come into fruition. So cool.
Oh yeah, these are looking great. I didn't know you guys were dropping your own collection.
Yeah.
How can I get one?
Yeah, we're gonna do an auction on NeoSwap here on the 30th, and whatever money we raise is gonna go to the creator of GM NFTs, and then our second collection will take all the funds there and start spinning up those creator pools.
Awesome. That's super exciting.
Thanks, man. Pete, are you ready to give us a demo and show us around Liquidium? And by the way, the name change, I love it. I love Liquidium. It just rolls off the tongue, Liquidium.
It does.
Appreciate that. We think of it as like your lending emporium, you know?
Yeah.
That's what it kind of sounds like to me.
No, it does. I like the name. Should I pull it on screen here?
Yeah, go ahead. I think we're ready.
Okay. All right. Tell us what we're looking at here, and just show us how this works.
Yeah, for sure. So right here we have our testnet site, which is live at testnet.liquidium.fi. Feel free to head over there and test it out yourself. It works exactly the same as the production version. So you have these buttons up here, and these are just for the testnet. You can mint a Megapont, mint a Satoshable, or mint a guest. And these are the 3 NFTs that we offer loans against at the moment. There's also this guide right here if you need some more information on how to use the testnet or anything else. So pretty much we have a section for borrowing and a section for auctions. We'll focus on the borrowing for now. We have your active loans visible right here if you have any active loans. Right now I don't on testnet. Mm-hmm. And we have your in-wallet NFTs. And right here you'll see any of the NFTs that we offer loans against right now. So that being, again, Megapont Satoshibles for the guests. Then we can go in here, set a desired loan amount. And for this product right now, we are the only liquidity providers. And so the value of the asset is set as a moving average of the floor price. So this kind of prevents liquidations from happening too quick, because we do liquidations based off of price for any like pool lending, which is what we have here. So you can borrow up to 35% of the floor, and there's a liquidation at 45% of a loan to value ratio. So here, when you click on borrow, we see a little pop-up with the asset value. So this is the current value for any Megapont. You can see that the max amount that you'll be able to borrow, and this is the floor price that you'll be liquidated at. And so, those values change as you set your slider. You can see on the side how much interest or fee you'll be paying off the bat. You go ahead and accept the terms and conditions, and you'll be able to borrow.
Nice.
Yeah, and right now you can borrow for a minimum of 1 week up to 1 month. And with our peer-to-peer version coming out, a lot of this will be a lot more flexible. We're also working towards a peer-to-pool version on Stacks, which will enable anybody to be a lender and earn interest off of NFT lending and get exposure to that. So that's kind of a nice little demo of what we have live so far. You go through, you hit your, you guys can see this part of my screen, right?
Yep, we can.
Pop up. Yeah, cool. So you go through, you see all your post conditions, beautiful feature of Stacks, and you can hit confirm. And that'll send off your request for a new loan.
And then on the other end of that, can you walk us through how, okay, this is how to borrow, but how would I provide liquidity?
Yeah, so right now that's not live. This is just
okay.
Right now we're just the only lenders. But that is what we're working towards right after the ordinal lending. So we want to launch an ordinal peer-to-peer version, and then after that we want to work towards more features on Stacks, like a peer-to-pool, so that anybody can participate. And so that's kind of a good little demo.
That's awesome. Thanks for showing us that. That's really smooth, man.
Thanks. Yeah, we got a lot of new changes coming too. We're just endlessly improving, endlessly iterating, and trying to make everything better.
Yeah, I was gonna say, great job on the site. It looks, it looks like something you would find on Ethereum or like a Web 2 product. It's really clean. So great job on that.
Appreciate it, guys.
And I'm mad because the guest, I was late to their mint and I didn't know about them early. And I mean, their price has just been impressive.
Their floor holds strong. Their floor does.
It does. You know, also, I'm looking at Satoshiables. Their journey has been fascinating to me, right? So they went from Ethereum to Stacks. They created the first NFT bridge, which was super innovative. Now they'll have some ordinals, right? So it finally went home to the main Bitcoin L1 chain. So that's just cool to see their journey. They're OGs. They're OGs.
For real. And they launched the Ordinals bot, like one of the first inscription tools
That's
for
right.
anybody to use. That when I saw that, I was like, wow, this team right here.
That's right. They're brilliant.
For real. And they move fast. For real.
Yep,
Yeah.
they do.
Props to all the Stacks people, man. It was like Hero and X first were like competing with like when they were going to get their ordinal stuff out first, and it was, I mean, they're both really quick. And then, you know, it's nice to see too all these people come in and they're just talking about Gamma, and they have like, you know, no history of it or anything, and they just are like, yo, this is just a great tool. Like it's, you know, Stacks people know how to ship, and it's really awesome to see.
For real. And everything just gravitates towards Bitcoin, right? Gravitates towards the most secure, the most decentralized chain. So it makes sense for us all to go build there, right?
It does. Yeah. Hey, if we're looking out into the, let's say after Bitcoin halving is probably end of 24, 25, what do you see on the roadmap for Liquidium?
So yeah, first we're definitely releasing the ordinal peer-to-peer lending ASAP, and we want to have that ready before the end of Q2. Then we're going to work towards more features on Stacks, like a peer-to-peer NFT lending, basically the same thing as the ordinal version, but on Stacks NFTs, and a peer-to-pool also on Stacks. Both of these will be like the first of their kind, the first NFT lending of these in these types of protocols on Stacks, and all of that we want to get ready around like in Q3. So we're really trying to move fast with all the features that we have coming, and we do want to explore like ways to do a pool lending for ordinals natively on Bitcoin, but this might be a lot more complex than is probably good for, you know, trying to build. But we're looking into that and seeing if that's possible too.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, if people are interested in building on ordinals or integrating, where's the best place to learn today?
It's got to be Twitter. It's got to be Discords. You know, you got to get down in the nitty gritty with everybody else who's on the front lines. And I think that's, you know, there's just not enough content out there yet to say like, you know, go onto YouTube and look into it. You know what I mean? But like with time, that will be the answer. But right now it's really, you just got to go, you got to be on Twitter. You got to try and, you know, meet the right people. And then Discord is great. That's a great place for meeting the right people, communicating, and trying to find who's willing to help and who can help, you know. And I'd be happy to help anybody learn where to go and where to start, you know, because I wouldn't be anywhere without the people who done that for me, you know, who read, you know, were open to answering my questions, you know, no matter how dumb they might be sometimes, right? But we all got to start somewhere. So
yeah. And hey, man, that's what Stacks is all about. We're all about you win and help win. And, you know, as long as we keep that as core pillar of our community, I mean, we're going to be very happy with how things turn out. So
100%. That's one of the number one things that differentiates Stacks, the willingness of the community to help each other, and just the whole vibe of the community that we have with each other is great.
To talk about that, Pete. So you came in here about, well, time is flying now. It's almost going to be a year. Came in a year ago. Tell people, I mean, Hodl Stacks and I, we tell people all the time, it is different in Stacks. Tell us like just what is the one thing that is different about Stacks community and the support you receive.
Definitely. I think the biggest thing is that the Stacks community is just open-minded. And I think that comes from the fact that we are like at an intersection of, hey, we think Bitcoin is digital gold. We think this thing is a pristine asset that should be, valued on the highest of pedestals. And then also we think that there should be programmable smart money, right? So we kind of have the best of both worlds in that sense. And I think that keeps us really open-minded to seeing a lot of different views, right? Because you see like from some camps, people might be a lot more closed-minded and a lot more, maybe like my chain only, or my chain is definitely better than your chain. But Stacks is really just a community of open-minded people who are willing to openly communicate, and they're all really friendly and willing to teach, right? Like for example, a couple people I could give some shout outs to are Kenny Rogers and Dan Trevino. Those two guys were great for helping me learn clarity in the beginning and answering any of my questions. And still, even to this day, we just talk every here and there about different things, touch up on them, and I'll still ask them questions, or they'll ask me some too. So it's just a great community, and the fact that we've never even met these people in real life, and they're all just so willing to help you is just great. It just feels good. It feels good. You know what I mean?
No, I know. And it's crazy because Stacks, it always feels like, wow, these people are trying to help me. What's the catch? Are you trying to get access to my wallet to rug me later?
So many times too online, like I'll be, you might like tell somebody like, yo, you should really check out Stacks, or like even like talking about Bitcoin. People might think that, and we're just like, no, man, we genuinely care about you. We're genuinely just want you to look into this. At least just give it the time of day, right?
Yeah. I remember when stacking first happened, and that was all you can do. And I thought, what? All I have to do is stack my STX, and I earn Bitcoin. What? There has to be a catch to this. It's
right,
like, no, man, stack your STX, earn Bitcoin, and go to bed. It's that easy.
It's crazy.
I feel like they're going to watch these videos 10 years from now, and this is going to be like the new Da Vinci videos. Like, Stacks is $1. I beg you to buy this.
Yeah, right. At least buy $1 worth. That's it.
just buy $1 worth of this stuff.
Yeah. Smart contracts for Bitcoin, man. Who would have thought that would be the thing? Yeah. But yeah, that's how I always describe it too. It's like, once you kind of comprehend, you're like, okay, Bitcoin's really good. Money, it should be used as money in the future, and it should hold its value. But you realize, wait, there's all these complexities in the modern world, and to do online commerce, and you have all these people on Ethereum, and there's just some like beautiful protocol. Like, I love MakerDAO, how that's set up. It just functions the way it should, and through all market conditions and everything else. And you look at it and you're like, that's just like a piece of infrastructure. That's like an aqueduct. And it's like, man, why can't we have stuff like that? And we do. And it'll be really great to see with SBTC coming online, what like that'll do for Bitcoin. We're just going to have a much more complex economy that can develop. And that's going to be really cool.
100%. And we're like right at the start of, like the suddenly, right?
Yeah.
Because all SBTC, like you said, is coming out. For those that don't know, that's just an amazing innovation coming to Stacks that enables a trust minimized way to wrap your Bitcoin. And currently, the overwhelming majority, maybe even all ways of wrapping your Bitcoin right now are custodial. And you'll need to give your Bitcoin to somebody else, and then they will give you wrapped Bitcoin. But this is a trust minimized solution to that, which is just unbelievable.
And here's the thing too. This is another one of those, what's the catch? And this is years and years of work and a decade of work the foundation has been laid, and there's been so many experiments, and now we're to the point where we can have this fully programmable native Bitcoin that can move from one chain to another. And people we love Jack Ben Switch. he talks about this all the time. And you know what? This reminds me, James, we're gonna have to do another community spotlight. We haven't done one in a long time. Kenny the Rogers, Maria Verse, they were early with us in Zero Authority DAO. They helped us build the bones of the platform. Without them, we're nothing. Dan Trevino helped us launch the Boombox Bitcoin last year during the Bitcoin pizzas, or during May for Bitcoin pizza events. Algorithm, man, there's been so many people. Albert T.O., they've like put so much trust in us and let us continue the relationship building and sharing the stories of founders through the accelerator. And I know it hasn't been announced, but congrats on cohort 3 getting into the accelerator. That's huge. Liquidium is huge. I see where I could see where all of this is going. To me, like where Ethereum is now, I've been shocked how fast Stacks has caught up to, like, just the teams are smart. The applications look really good. And it's almost, to me, it's almost that it's almost at the point of it. It's our Uber moment where the infrastructure's there. We have smart teams. The apps talk to each other. The infrastructure works together. You're going to have the Alex bridge bringing over USDT from Ethereum. You have Liquidium taking loans against your NFT. You have some of the blue chip NFTs that will, at some point, someone's going to make a bridge from L1 to L2 to make it like super easy to go back and forth. And people are like Theopetra, right? They're already doing real estate deeds and real estate owned by DAO. They're going to be able to create all these NFTs on L1 or L2. Dude, the future is so bright.
Yeah, I'd like to mention too, we have 2 people that have built games with NFTs. And I remember in the bull run, how many projects on Ethereum said they were going to make a game. And I don't see very many gamers over on Ethereum playing games. I'm just, but like, hey, Stacks Degens, Project Indigo, like they just keep shipping stuff out, and it's cool to see, and the stuff just works too. It's really great development, and like, you get an inflow of users, and those games are going to be staples. So
yeah, the thing is
what I love about those 2 specifically, they never promised a game. They just said, hey, we're going to try this NFT thing, and if it works out, we're just going to keep building. And we love the Stacks Degens. We love Project Indigo. To your point, James, they never promised any of this stuff, and they delivered on all of it. And so it's just been like so crazy to see how far and how fast they've come. Now they have these custom racers with the Stacks. I love this game, by the way. It reminds me of like Sega Genesis or Nintendo N64 back in the day. I love it. Sorry, I cut you off, Pete.
No, you're good. You're good. I was going to say something similar to your points. It's just awesome that, like, we have these great builders, and then they just stay, right? They just stay in the ecosystem, and they add more even sometimes. They build what's missing in the space. Like the Stacks Degens team, I saw that they got a grant awarded for, what was it, decentralized mining on Stacks, which is totally necessary. Like one of the most important things I think, you can do for a blockchain is just improve the mining, right? Improve the security. So, the fact that they built this NFT game and then they were like, yeah, we have some skill now. We can also contribute to decentralized mining on the chain. Like, what? That's crazy.
Crazy.
And
it's like, yeah, the people that built this video game, they're also building the decentralized mining pool. That's how talented people are in this ecosystem.
Crazy.
And then
it's just the incentives just line up, right? We all see the value of, programmable money for Bitcoin, or, increasing the programmability of Bitcoin in however way you can. And, something that different, like I think that really differentiates us from other chains, I think is what I'm trying to say. Because, if you think about it, like the difference between Ethereum, Cardano, really it might just be like transaction speeds, or, our chain is more secure, faster, but, none of them have this claim of adding programmability to Bitcoin, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just such a strong idea that so many people believe in, and I think that's just what keeps us all here, or at least part of what keeps us all here.
Yeah, I think so. It's so true.
So, man, we talked about a lot of things, and Pete, we're just so fortunate to have you on today. We just want to just keep promoting what you guys are building, and we just appreciate all the love and appreciation you give us too. Remind us on the dates here. So what can people look forward to on the dates? When is the ordinal market coming again, and where can people find out more about Liquidium?
For sure. So the number one way to keep up with us, I think, is to join the Discord, and then the second best way is probably to follow Twitter. We're pretty active on there. We post daily, pretty much, and keep everything up to date. We also try to talk a little bit more about like just the NFT lending space in general. So that's a great place to keep up with us and some changes in the market. And yeah, like right now, we really want to have this P2P ordinal lending ASAP, and we're really shooting to have it ready within the next month or so. And that's something that we really want people to look out for, because it's going to be the first of its kind. It's going to enable interest on Bitcoin, native Bitcoin, in a, not a magical way or anything. You can see how you're earning interest. It's a real concrete solution, and it's just going to be great for the market, we think. On top of that, we want to build more infrastructure for stacks, because the NFT lending and even fungible token lending in general, we see some aspects where we might be able to add to that too, because some of our contracts actually might be really easy to convert to fungible token lending. So maybe like some pools. But yeah, a lot of NFT peer-to-pool and peer-to-peer features for stacks. We want to have that ready sometime in the next 2 or 3 months. So we really plan to be moving really fast, really coming these next couple of months. A lot of new things coming out.
That's awesome, man. Awesome.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And yeah, you guys are moving fast. The product is, correct me if I'm wrong, the product's live, right? I think I saw like what you guys are up to, like 50 loans now, and so that's cool. People are trusting you with their most desired assets in the NFT space on stacks. You got Megapon apes, gas, Satoshiables. So for people to trust a new protocol and rely on it already, it just shows that you guys are the real deal. And keep it up. We're gonna be keeping a real close eye on you. You guys are doing great.
Yeah, appreciate that. Would love to stay in close contact. And yeah, it's really gonna speed up, especially now. Like I said earlier, I just left my job. I'm full-time Liquidium, so it's just gonna be magical times here, honestly.
Man, that's so awesome, man. I can't wait till you guys. I can't wait to retweet when you guys get that first funding round too.
Oh, appreciate that, man.
Yeah, awesome, man. Well, hey, we're going to keep in touch with you, Pete Hodl. No relation to Hodl Stacks, as we know of. Maybe you might be distant cousins.
Yep.
Well, hey, you guys have a good weekend, and looking forward to keeping in touch, Pete. So thanks so much for stopping by Zero Authority.
Yeah, take care. Have a great weekend, guys.
Yeah, you guys too. Thanks so much. This was great.
Appreciate that.
Have a good one.
Zero Authority is a community of people who believe in open source and permissionless systems. Thanks for supporting the community. Remember why you started.